morning. Sing along with me once you get it. Thank you. I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 'Cause I'm so grateful. So grateful. Oh, grateful. I'm so grateful. So I want to say thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. So thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. I want to say thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I want to say thank you, 'cause I'm so grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. So grateful. So I want to say thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nicole, for that awesome way to start. We're feeling that connection. And welcome everyone to Unity today and everyone that's joining us on live stream. If you don't know who I already am, I'm Cintisha Groveland. I'm one of the co-leaders here at Unity. And today you're going to have an amazing talk led by Jack. I just had to take a day to just enjoy the community and not have to speak. Sometimes I have to take that self-care time, and so I'm out here to remind you to take that time for self-care when we just know Spirit needs us to do something else certain days, to listen to that, to follow that, because when we do, we stay in harmony and in peace in our lives, and we experience more joy and happiness as well. So we have an awesome service next week that I'll be leading at the second service, which will be in lieu of the Thanksgiving service that we usually do on Thanksgiving. We're starting to see that they're closing us down a little bit in Boulder, so we want to get as much in as while we can, kind of thing, in person. So, or you can join us on live stream. So it's going to be a Thanksgiving service where we're asking you to, if you can't show up in person, to email us at info@unityofboulder and write about loved ones that you're grateful for. And we will get up here and we will share your message of love for your family members, and you can actually let them know so they could keep up in time with us at that live stream service. And if you're in the actual sanctuary, you'll get to stand up and share what you're grateful for as well. So it's really just an hour of sitting in that state of gratitude. It tends to be one of the more uplifting, emotional, and beautiful services of the year. And some people say it's their favorite service. So join us next Sunday at 11 a.m. And I think that's everything. So thank you for being here. And you have a lot of beauty in store.
Unity of Boulder. How is everyone this morning? Good, good. My name is Todd Bethune. I'm the band director for the 11 o'clock service. And boy, first of all, I want to just say how grateful I am to have this community to share and all these wonderful musicians. I just want to take a moment and introduce them, give them some gratitude for what they do. Nicole Williams, of course, for coming out and singing with us on Sundays. Joel Plimmer, Larry Jordan, Larry Morrison. Where'd Larry go? Thank you. Yes, thank you. Every week they're here doing that. When I get tech and support crew also. We've got the holiday season knocking on the door, and I've got a lot of fun things planned for December. So keep tuned in and keep showing up. We got some fun holiday spiritual music coming up, and just a lot of fun to have out there. I do want to say, I'm looking for a couple male vocalists. So if you're watching on live stream or you hear anything like that and enjoying the music and think, hey, this is something I'd like to be part of, please contact me at todd@unityofboulder.com. I believe they should have that on the live stream as well, so you can reach out to me if that's something you feel interested in. And just a couple of male vocalists if they're interested, and we can work details out in that with that. As part of my spiritual practice, I continually meditate on the Spirit of God through all types of music. It's been a real treat for me to find so many musicians and performing artists from this area and have them come here to Unity to perform. I'm humbled by their sharing of their talents and gifts with us, and today we'll be performing two classical pieces, the Ave Maria and a Christmas Oratorio by J.S. Bach, Bereit dich Zion. So hopefully the linguistic majors are here today to catch that. Our guest today is Preefi Saldana, who I met delivering a piano to her house a few weeks ago, and she is a mezzo-soprano from Berkeley, California. She's a junior at the University of Denver, where she's pursuing a concurrent degree in vocal performance and business management. She currently studies under Sarah Bardil. In her free time, she enjoys being part of the University of Denver figure skating team and wood burning. Would you please welcome to our Unity of Boulder stage, Preefi Saldana.
Good morning, everyone. How many of you know that I used to sing like that before the accident? What a beautiful voice. Amazing. Wonderful talent. So, how many of you think and feel like the whole world is just going faster and faster? And, you know, it just seems like we're given more and more to do and less time to do it in. And I think this is all driven by technology. We're inundated every day by emails and Facebook we have to get to, and, you know, cell phone calls and texts and posts. And I think a lot of people are feeling pressured to try to get through all of that, and when they can't get through it, they feel guilty that they didn't get to all their emails or they didn't get to Facebook today. So technology has actually given us more and more to do and less time to do it in. And a lot of it is simply intrusions on the natural flow of consciousness. It's just intrusions, so that we're not really present and experiencing life as it unfolds with us. And so that's a problem that we're all facing today. And you add to that the restrictions foisted upon us by the coronavirus and everything else. And, you know, it makes for a lot of tension in people's lives and anxiety in their lives. But I'll tell you this thing about it's going faster and faster. I had a friend who used to be a member of the congregation, but he moved, and he emailed me last week, and he wanted to get my input on a business venture that he's thinking about getting involved in with some investors. It happens to do with a speed dating website. You know? So, you know what a speed dating website is? It's where people who want to date but not get acquainted. So he wanted my input, and I thought, I wasn't sure he was serious. So I sent him like a funny response as to my input on what a speed dating website would be. So here's my response to him in short. I've cut it short. Here's how it works. No date exceeds an hour in duration, so there's no going for any time-consuming dinner or conversation. Speed daters agree to meet at Starbucks for a double espresso, and that's it. It's mandatory to show up wearing only a trench coat with one button and flip-flops. The conversation may not exceed 5 words, including a 2-word response. It goes like this. Both chug down their espresso. One dater says, "My place or yours?" The other picks the place. They pause only to take each other's temperature to make sure neither has the COVID virus, and they're off. And I thought he was joking, but I think he got a little bit offended by that. So, how many of you remember your first romantic partner? Oh, well, I know this is Boulder, and you people have been through so many partners, it's hard to go back that far. So let's just make it easier. Bring to mind your third spouse. You know, I jest like this because when I first got to Boulder, and we were set up in this tiny church over on Pearl Street, and I was open to do counseling, and I started counseling over there, but just about every counseling situation was about a relationship that people were in. And it began to look like I was the only one married in Boulder. It was one relationship and then keep coming back about the problems with relationships. So actually, we've all actually been deceived. We need to reconsider the meaning of true love, because we've all been deceived. We're born into our Western culture and we grow up, and 90% of the movies we say are about love. And 95% of the songs that we hear are about love. But they all misrepresent love as being romance. And romance actually is simply a physical, biological attraction. That's what most of it is about. I guess if you get past that, you might find something more refined in your relationship, which you could call love. There's definitely people that have found a compatible partner that is so rare these days. And when you think about it, I think the percentage now is that 60% of all marriages end in divorce. So that's a huge statistic. But as I said, you may find a partner that is compatible, and it'll be very meaningful if you do. But because of our conditioning with the media, forever portraying love as, romance, so many people are on the lookout for their soulmate. That one and only person who's going to shower them with love, regardless of what's going on. And that is such an erroneous thing in this Western culture of ours. Because love cannot come to us from outside. You may even have a compatible partner, and that's wonderful, and it might develop into true love. You might pick up the refined essence of love. But true love can only arrive when we uncover it within ourselves. By uncovering it within ourselves, we become capable of drawing a partner of like consciousness to us. But once you uncover love from within yourself, a partner isn't necessary. So it's a whole different way of life. As anyone uncovers the true essential nature of the soul, which is love, then one is moved gently into an expanded awareness of life. And in that expanded awareness of life, we recognize what we've been missing for so long, which is that everything is sacred. Everything is sacred. Can you imagine a world where everyone in it recognized that it was sacred? Would we have any of the conflicts, the problems, the suffering, the disease we have today? I know we actually think that disease is something that has its own essential nature, and we're unfortunate if it winds up in our life somehow or other. It is not. There are cosmic levels of beings who live without disease. They are manifesting without disease because they have transcended the illusions that we presently are living under. And that's all anybody in the human race is doing. That's all anybody in the world is doing, whether they know it or not. We are transcending the limited illusions we have taken in to our minds. And everyone, unfortunately, has taken them in from birth, from infancy. We have taken in limited, suffering-causing concepts and beliefs that are all based upon a false definition of life. We are not raised to understand that life is eternal and goes on in different dimensions after dimensions. We're not raised in that understanding. And so what we think is this is the one time we go around in the world and we are told that we are strictly these separate physical bodies with each one having a brain and a world of separate physical others and separate physical phenomena. And that false definition of life causes us to live in constant anxiety. And we've been living in it so long that we've grown used to it and believe that that's all that life is. And if you talk to people, they think, yeah, well, everybody's got some anxiety, some worry. That's not true. There are masters living above the illusionary thinking of the world. They've taken to task their own awareness, their own consciousness, and found the errors that have held them in bondage to anxiety and suffering and depression and disease. Now that's the truth. If you want religion, if you want pomp and circumstances, you want a lot of glitz and glitter, and nothing to really change the experience of your living, then that's what religion is for. But if you want life and you want it abundantly as it was promised and is continually promised by the masters down through the ages, then at some point you have to become serious about taking to task your own awareness. You must recover your true nature. You must recover true love. And that's not an easy process because we have lived so long in the illusions. We call it true life. People used to say to me, they don't say it very much anymore, but back when I was first ministering, people would say, well, Jack, in the real world. They'd say in the real world, and then you go on and explain all the difficulties and things that are harassing them. And you see, for most people, they believe that that's the real world. That's all there is to life, so get used to it. Gut your way through it. But that's not the real world at all. Course in Miracles talks about the real world. Talks about transcending the limited thinking of the world in which we were born and raised and educated by unenlightened people. And so if you're interested in finding life and how to live it effectively, beautifully, joyfully, harmoniously, without pain, suffering, and fear, then it's up to you to choose to take to task your own awareness. And that means purifying your mind. And that's not as difficult as you may think it is, but it is something one has to give his or her attention to. And that has to be done every day. I had a friend when I went to school, an ex-priest who was going to school to become a Unity minister. And he supported himself for years and was supporting himself through school by buying old pieces of furniture from junk stores and secondhand stores, because he had an eye for seeing an antique. Beneath all of the painting and lacquers that went on some of these pieces of furniture, and they just were old and looked terrible. But he could see that beneath all that lacquer and paint and stuff that was laid on that piece of furniture, he could bring it back to life. And he would use, a stripper chemical at first, a very caustic chemical. And he showed us all how he goes through this process and refinishes all these pieces of furniture with stripper, and then he has to use different levels of sandpaper, and then he has to get down to the fine of it. But when he gets done, he has taken this piece of furniture that has been abused for who knows how many years, sometimes decades, sometimes centuries. And then when he gets it there, he decides just the right stain to use on it, so that it has that look that, geez, this came from way back when. And he would sell those pieces of furniture for huge amounts of money. But you see, that process that he did of getting rid of all the stuff that was laid on it, that destroyed it in the process, that's what we have to do. We have to purify our minds. And the lacquer, not the lacquer, but the stripper that we need to use, and this is it. So now, you may have come here and for a long time been coming Unity and getting away without really facing this particular thought, but here comes this thought, and it's coming straight at you so hard, you're really going to be bothered by it if you're not into it. And that is this: the stripper everyone will need to purify the limited concepts and beliefs he or she has collected over the years is meditation. You will have to sit and be still for a period every day. And let me say this to you. When you're meditating, don't ever think that you're not having something amazing happen. Even when you sit down and say, I don't feel anything happening. Well, stop attempting to look for phenomena. Just realize that every time you sit still and allow your mind to relax and shed the incessant thinking that goes with ego-centered thinking, shed that thinking and let it to relax. Every time you do that, the essential nature of your soul, that true love, that light of God is rising, and it is purifying your mind. You don't have to be taking any other steps, but sitting and allowing your mind to become quiet. You don't have to do extraordinary meditation techniques or breathing techniques. If you learn to be quiet and just be present, what happens is the mind itself relaxes, the thinking relaxes, and inspiration, divine truth starts to come forth, and it starts to purify your awareness. And you begin to recognize insights into living that you have forgotten. And it helps you to understand, it amazingly helps you to understand how to be in harmony with everything that's happening around you. How to bring peace, how to bring joy, how to bring a restoration of love in relationships. Yes, but that all comes from the divine nature within you. It doesn't come from books. It doesn't come from universities. It doesn't come from thinking, and spinning in the thinking. It comes because you have listened to it. If you don't take anything else away from this, take this with you. Forget everything else that I'm going to say today, but take this with you. The only thing your divine nature wants from you is to let go of trying to make life work and allowing that divine nature to speak to you in every given moment, and you will be living life effectively, beautifully, joyfully. It'll be the still small voice of the living God that is your inheritance, made in the image and likeness of God. The whole limited concept of life that is foisted upon the human race, especially in the Western society, and propagated day after day after day by the media, is that you are a separate body mind in a world of separate others, and you need to be afraid because you don't know how to make life work. So you better start trying to control things around you and stay in control. What I've just shared with you just now was the reason that all religions began. Every single religion began with the idea of getting to God. But of course, the unenlightened people that got involved in religion decided to make themselves middlemen. and to create a God that is separate and apart from every one of us, which is a totally erroneous concept. So now I am going to try to share with you the reality of God in a way that maybe you haven't thought about before. So the reality of God is within you, and is best understood by this very beautiful way of saying it from A Course in Miracles. Can we have this first PowerPoint up, please? You can read this in the old Course in Miracles text, page 92, or in the new edition, page 100. Every lesson you teach, you are learning. That is why you must teach only one lesson. If you are to be conflict-free yourself, you must learn only from the Holy Spirit and teach only by Him. You are only love. But when you deny this, you make what you are something you must learn to remember. I said before that the message of the resurrection was, teach only love, for that is what you are. This is the one lesson that is perfectly unified, because it is the only lesson that is one. Only by teaching it can you learn it. As you teach, so will you learn. If that is true, and it is true indeed, do not forget that what you teach is teaching you. Can we hold on to this? Bring it back. I'm going to take it again. As A Course in Miracles speaks about what we are teaching, we should know that it means what you presently think and believe is being reflected back to you in everything around you. No two people are actually living in the same world, because no two people in the unenlightened state, let me correct that. The only people living in the same world are those that have been enlightened, come into the enlightened awareness. Everybody else is living in a world which is a collection of his or her limited concepts and beliefs, and some not so bad concepts and not so bad beliefs, but still living in the illusion of separation, which is the error that holds human beings separate and apart from joy, happiness, peace, and love. Because we don't recognize that all minds, regardless of our limited view, all minds are in communication. So what you think most of the time and what you believe most of the time is reflected back to you in every single relationship you have with every other human being around you. And with everything that lives around you, it is being reflected back to you. And you're not living in the same world as those other people, because each is living in the world of his collection of beliefs, and you see the world through that collection of beliefs. In essence, and science has proved this, but we're not reading enough of it, science has proved that you don't see through the eyes. You're not an objective observer. You see through the mind, and what you see is what you believe. Therefore, if you're going to ever come to true life, if you're ever going to come to true love, you're going to have to purify the encrusted concepts and beliefs that the limited world, the world of conflict, sorrow, sickness, and war, that world has foisted upon you. You're going to have to purify your mind of that. And the only way to do that is through spiritual practice, because you've grown used to it, you call it real, you see it's right, this is the way life is. That's not true. It's the way life is for you. I remember when we had Swami Rama, when he first got to this country, the guy got off a bus in New York City. Swami Rama, this was a yogi that could practically stop his heart. He took his heart down so slow in beats they thought that his heart had stopped. This is the kind of guy that you can bury for like 3 days. stuff like that. But he got off a bus in New York City and found his way around, wound up in this tiny little ARE place we had and asked if he could give a talk. And his whole talk was about, if you don't like your life, change your mind. And nobody, he said, can do it for you. If you don't like your life, it's not going the way you'd really like it to go, change your mind. So, in order to do that, we have to have a format. Let me share this next PowerPoint with you that will help you get a hold of a format. You can read it in the Course in Miracles, the old text 206, the new one 222. Salvation is for the mind. It is attained through peace. This is the only thing that can be saved and the only way to save it. Any response other than love arises from a confusion about what and the how of salvation. And this is the only answer. Never lose sight of this, and never allow yourself to believe, even for an instant, that there is another answer. For you will surely place yourself among the poor who do not understand that they dwell in abundance and that salvation is come. Can we take this back again, please? So, I know the New Age took up this whole idea of, that our limitations and our karma is coming from past lives. Your karma is coming from your consciousness right in the present moment where you are. So it is incumbent upon each one of us to first begin to realize that. So whatever is holding you up and messing you up is something that you are allowing to exist within your own consciousness. And the way to deal with this is to recognize salvation isn't on some distant day when you drop this body. Salvation is in this moment. Life is in this moment. Living truthfully is in this moment. And to find that, you have to be able to be at peace. What it's saying here, that peace is the only thing that can be saved and the only way to save it. What it is saying to us is that unless you're capable of having peace, sustaining peace, and bestowing peace, you haven't arrived yet in true life. You're still just being tossed to and fro because you're still reacting to conditions and circumstances. If they go your way according to your expectations, you're kind of okay with that. You have some peace. When they're not going your way, you kind of like it in resistance to it and even become angry and more anxious. So what it is saying to you is you have to become aware of how to sustain true peace. That means whenever you're feeling resistance within you and you're running into situations that you really feel alienated by, you can't just react anymore. See, if you're just going to react to circumstances this way and that way, you're in the thinking of the world. You're not saved. You're not alive. You're not waking. You're not awakened. If you want to be awakened and live life fabulously, then you have to be able to sustain peace regardless of circumstances. You have to be able to pause, not react. You have to allow that divine nature within you to bring insight and to speak to you, whisper to you what's appropriate now, how to flow now, how to be present now, how to love again regardless. To love again, imagine arriving in mastery where you love again regardless of anything that is confronting you, because love is what you have always been seeking. Do you really want that? Is that something you really want? Because you're going to have to really want it. You're being robbed of it in every moment of the illusionary thinking of the world. So there it is. Peace is the only thing that can be saved, and the only way to save it. So I'm going to share with you, before I do that, because something I almost forgot. On Wednesday, I told those that were tuning into my Wednesday talk that I would have the handout of the Now Moment Yoga. And it's a little different than what I'm prescribing here, but it's in the lobby, on the table, on your way out. You can pick this up, especially if you heard my talk on Wednesday. If you didn't hear my talk on Wednesday, it meant you're probably out drinking. I'm going to share with you a meditation. Before I get into this meditation, I want you to take an idea with you. See if you can take this idea with you. I didn't have this printed out. I might have it printed out by next week. See if you can hold on to this. I am as others appear to be. I am as others appear to me. I am projecting what I believe I see. Be still and know in this respect. I am God. I am as others appear to be. I am as others appear to me. I am projecting what I believe I see. Be still and know in this respect. I am God. So now just relax. As I said, meditation isn't all that complicated. If you just become willing to be sitting here, not wanting, not fearing, not grasping, not futuring, not pasting, not bemoaning what went wrong, can you just be okay? Can you sit here and be okay? Because that's what the divine within you wants. Because when you feel okay, your mind relaxes, inspiration rises. You begin to feel you are one with everything you look upon. So now just relax now, and let's become aware of our breathing. Remembering to breathe when difficulties arise brings a light into the mind that guides and heals. Remembering to breathe when challenges, problems, and fears arise brings a light into the mind that guides and heals. Practice now, breathing in as though your body were a complete vacuum, and the air around you, a refined golden light. Breathing in the refined golden light of life. It filling your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Releasing the breath into the world. And breathing in again the refined golden light of life. It filling your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. It purifying the cells in your body as you release your breath into the world. Breathing in the refined golden light of life. Resting in the ambience and the divine rising love. Releasing that love into the world, flowing in the oneness of love. Breathing in the refined golden light of life. It filling your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. It purifying your mind freeing it of all the fears and limited concepts you have beheld, and releasing that breath into the world, feeling buoyant now as you breathe in the refined golden light of life, feeling light-hearted, feeling free, feeling your connection with everything there is, releasing the breath into the world, breathing in the refined golden light of life, it filling your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. You feeling buoyant, you feeling free, you're feeling your connection with everything there is, and knowing as you release your breath, you are sacred. Everything is sacred. Everything is God waiting for you to remember to love. Breathing in the refined golden light of life, it filling your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. You're feeling free, feeling whole, feeling peace, feeling joy, feeling love. Releasing your breath into the world, knowing you are one. All is one, and all is sacred, and all is worthy of love. As we go forth from this meditation to those places we occupy in time and space, let us go forth in the realization, I am as others appear to be. I am as others appear to me. I am projecting what I believe I see. Be still and know in this respect, I am God. Amen. We'll take an offering for unity now.
Thank you, Jack. Well, there's some spiritual wisdom to take us into our week. Probably we'll be looking through a more broadened vision towards our life and looking more reflective towards all of the experiences we have. You know, when we take an offering, we can really actually put our finances to test in the same way, because when we sit in resistance about our finances and feel anguish and fear, we restrict in our experience, and so we're looking like out to the world where we would like to receive more finances, and yet we're sitting in resistance, believing there's not enough in this universe, and so we don't give out gladly, trusting that the universe is honorable and that it will give back to us tenfold from what we give. So maybe today we take into our hands this offering and we find a state of gladness in our giving. You know, because we do operate in the world, the center does cost quite a bit of money to keep open every month, and you have been incredible taking care of the center, keeping these doors open with a pandemic that's never happened, and we've never had such small amounts of people allowed here, and yet you still support this place. You know, it's just a wonderful witness to what this work does for people's lives. So with that said, we'll take our offerings in our hands and bless it with this offering statement. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. Obviously, for those of you that are here, we don't have ushers to take your offerings, so you can just go out to the lobby, and there's baskets to drop money into, or we have dip jars where you can tithe with your credit cards. And then all that are joining us on live stream, we are already in gratitude for all that you do for the center. And now we have a chance to listen to more powerful music, accompanied by Marcia Jordan. Is it just you?
With Jenna.
With Jenna. Here you are. I didn't see you. So did she already give up on us? Is that too hard?
Nun wird mein liebster Bräutigam, nun wird mein Held aus David stumm, zum Trost, zum Heil der Erden, einmal geboren werden. Nun wird mein Stern aus Jakob scheinen, sein Strahlblick schon hervor, auf Sion, und verlasse nun das Weinen, dein Vorsteig hoch empor. Bereite dich, Sion, mit zärtlichen Trieben, den schönsten, den liebsten, bald bei dir zu sehen, den schönsten, den liebsten. Bereite dich, Sion, mit zärtlichen Trieben. Bereite dich, Sion, mit zärtlichen Trieben, den schönsten, den liebsten, bald bei dir zu sehen. Bereite dich, Sion, mit zärtlichen Trieben, den schönsten, den liebsten, bald bei dir zu sehen. Den liebsten, den schönsten. Bereite dich, Sion, mit zärtlichen Trieben. Bereite dich, Sion, mit zärtlichen Trieben, den schönsten, den liebsten, bald bei dir zu sehen. Deine Wangen müssen heut viel schöner prangen, müssen heut viel schöner den schönsten, den liebsten, bald bei dir so sehen.
Thank you for that beautiful music. Is it Jenna or Jenna? Is that her name? Okay. Thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate it. It's so beautiful. All right, let's all rise and close our closing benediction. Again, I hope we will see you for our Thanksgiving service next week at 11. Again, you can email us at info@Unity of Boulder, stories or wonderful things for family members and things like that, and we'll share that during the service. That's mostly for the live stream people, because in person you'll be able to share it. All right. Oh, good. And we'll have you. We need another microphone.
I know, I don't have it.
Okay.
Chair?
Here.
Hello.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. And so it is. We have prayer partners available to you. If you want to pray with somebody, just stay seated in your seat and they'll come find you right now. And Jack will be out in the lobby to share with you and meet with you about the sermon, and we'll see you next week. Blessings.
you.